Hey, what's up guys? Tukey here, back again with another NHL 19 video. And of course, as you can tell by the title, today we are here to talk about how the Maine Mariners are in this game. And their beautiful, beautiful jerseys. Oh my god, the best logo in sports. Arguably the best jerseys in all of sports and entertainment. Nah, we're not here to talk about that, although I could talk about that for hours. What we are here to talk about are the NHL Alumni Association teams that you can find in play now and in Versus. We have a couple. We have the all-time All-Stars, Eastern Conference, Grit, Western Conference, and local legends. Of course, all of these players will at one point end up being an Ultimate Team as well, but we're going to take a look at who are on or who is on these teams that you can play with immediately. So let's take a look at who is on every team, because it's basically all the big names that you would expect. The all-time All-Stars starts with Joe Sakic, who of course is absolutely ridiculous. We move on to Wayne Gretzky, and yes, of course, they do have them listed as their actual age, so get ready. There's a 100-year-old in NHL 19. Luc Robitaille rounds out that top line. Second line starts with Bryan Trottier. Mario Lemieux, of course, on the second line center with Guy Lafleur to his right. Third line, Marcel Dion, Marc Messier, and Teemu Selanne. And let me tell you, his top card in the hut is looking phenomenal. Fourth line, Peter Forsberg. Who isn't excited to see Peter Forsberg back in the game? Jean Beliveau and Brett Hull. Absolutely ridiculous. And on defense, it's just as spectacular, I would say. We start off with Larry Robinson and Al MacInnis. I will say, 91 slap shot power, EA. I think that needs to go up by about 8 points. Phil Housley alongside Paul Coffey. Excited to have Paul Coffey in the game. They make up the second pairing, third pairing of Chris Pronger and Denis Potvin. Ridiculous to see some of the guys in the game. And that thought continues. Patrick Waugh, of course, in, which is amazing. And Jacques Plante in the game as well. 89 years young. Jacques Plante, I love the black and white photo. It's tremendous. And we do have some scratched players as well, kicking things off with Dale Hawerchuk, Stan Mikita, 78 years old, but again, just recently passed away, actually. It's unfortunate. True legend of the game. Glad to see him in. Jean Rattel is there. Adam Oates is there. He also has a ridiculous card in Ultimate Team. And Glenn Hall. That is just the first team. You're going to see some repeat players on the Eastern and Western Conference side, but already, if that doesn't get you excited for some of the legends in the game, I don't know what's wrong with you. And I will say, of course, I'm going to have a video detailing some of the guys that are an Ultimate Team, and some of the alumni players might be a bit underwhelming, but I will say at the very least, these teams absolutely deliver. And we'll start off here with the Eastern team. Bobby Clarke is in. Flyers fans rejoice, centered by Lemieux, who we've already seen, and Guy Lafleur, for that matter. Johnny Busick still in the game, which is tremendous, centered by Jean Beliveau and Michel Goulet. Again, also tremendous. What a mustache, by the way. What a mustache. Third line, Peter Stastny is in alongside Bryan Trottier and Mike Gartner. Speaking of mustaches, good lord. 10 out of 10. Fourth line, Dave Andreychuk returns next to Matt Sundin. Great to see you back in NHL as well. And Jean Rattel in his magnificent nose, also in this game. On defense, Denis Potvin showing up yet again next to Larry Robinson. Second pairing, Phil Housley with Larry Murphy. The third pairing, God, I'm excited that he's in this game. Brad frickin' Park. God damn it, I'm so happy he's in this game. What a player. And speaking of what a player, Brian Leetch as well. How about that third pairing? I'll take that as my top pairing in Hut any day of the week. Goaltenders yet again, Plante and Patrick Waugh. Healthy scratches, only 2. Excited to see both of them in as well. Joe Nieuwendyk and Billy Smith, which might I say, only 88 poke checking. Really, and only 89 aggressiveness. He should have his own custom animation where he baseball swings at people's ankles. He should. Legend, though. Happy to see him in the game, and that's pretty much the general feeling I have for the majority if not all of these players, even some of the small-time players that I'll get into in the video where I detail everyone that's an Ultimate Team. Like I said, some people might be underwhelmed and say, like, okay, why the hell is this guy even in the game? I don't care. I'm pumped. I think it's great. I think it's awesome. Team Grit. Oh, this is going to be fun. This is going to be a fun team to use. Gary Roberts on the top line next to Jeremy Roenick and Claude Lemieux. Claude Lemieux back in an NHL game. Hilarious and amazing. Second line, Keith Tkachuk, centered by Dougie Gilmour, and Theo Fleury also in this game. Again, I love this team. Third line, Ty Domi is in. How awesome is that? Centered by Bobby Clarke, who we've already seen, and Scott Mellanby. Might be one of those people where some people are like, really? Who cares? It's Scott Mellanby, man. I'm good with it. The fourth line, speaking of good with it, Bob Probert is in, centered by Jason Arnott, and perhaps my favorite on this team, Knuckles, Chris Nyland, in the game. Massachusetts born, but a Habs legend. I'm conflicted, but I love that Chris Nyland is in this game. 93 fighting skill, that is just disrespectful. You need to go FHM style and have like the max rating be a 99, but he gets like a 150. Don't be disrespecting Knuckles like that. We move to the defense. Ken Danico on the first pairing with Chris Chelios. Second pairing, Jeff Bukaboom next to Rob Ramage, sporting that Colorado Rockies jersey. I love it. And the third pairing, Brian Marchment. How's that for a nose? You think he's taken a couple of punches in his lifetime? He's on that pairing with Garth Butcher. We move to the goaltenders. Ron Hextall. Just the legends, just nothing but amazing, just amazing mustache after amazing mustache. It is simply phenomenal. Billy Smith also on this team. In terms of healthy scratches, only one, but what a player it is. Ted Lindsay is in this game, and again, talking about amazing hot cards, he has one this year, and how awesome is that to see Ted Lindsay in NHL 19? I think it's ridiculous. We still have two more teams to go through the Western Conference. Of course, there will be some repeat players that you had already seen from the all-time team, but still some solid options on this team as well. Let's just keep saying the word team. We start off, we've already seen him, Luke Robitaille, Wayne Gretzky as well, and Jari Kurri, and bravo, yeah, by default, putting Gretzky and Kurri together. That's what I like to see. Second line, Mark Messier, of course, centered by Joe Sakic and Teemu Selanne, also amazing. Third line, Dale Hawerchuk is in with Mike Modano. Love to see Mike Modano in. And Marcel Dion. Fourth line, Peter Forsberg, Stan Mikita, and Brett Hull. A ridiculous team. And defensively, I also get a couple of returning faces, but Chris Pronger is in next to Al McInnes. They used to be a line, they used to be a pairing, and they were dominant. Second pairing, Paul Coffey with Chris Chelios, and Teppo Numminen returns to the game as well, next to Rob Blake. The goaltenders, Grant Fuhr. Speaking of mustaches, Grant Fuhr's in, and Eddie Belfour, the best picture, the Eagle, with the best picture in the game, bar none. Look at the hair. Look at it. We sit here and praise Yager for his amazing mullet. Look at that. That belongs, like, I'm sorry. Mount Rushmore, have the four former presidents, put Ed Belfour up there. I'm cool with it. Just put Ed Belfour up there. Amazing. In terms of scratched players, Bobby Hull is in the game. Well, that proved to be controversial with some of with the story that came out earlier this year. If that gains any more traction, it might. Glenn Anderson, though, also in the game. Imagine a Gretzky, Kurri, and Anderson line. I am more than okay with that. We have one team to go, the local legends, and there are some interesting names on this side as well. Let's take a look, particularly in goal. I think there might be one person that really surprises people, but we do start things off with former Ranger great Vic Hadfield. Vic Hadfield, 77 years old, listed. Bernie Federico is the center on that line, and Bob Nystrom rounds it out. Again, an amazing mustache. Second line, Sid Abel. I was never sure how to pronounce it. 100 years old. What a legend. Next to Howie Morentz, the oldest player in the game at 116. And rounding out that second line, Yuri Lettinen. Significantly younger. Still love him, though. Just had his jersey retired, or his number retired by the Dallas Stars. And here's somewhere where people might be like, really? But hey, RJ Umberger, he is on this team. I'm all right with it. Centered by Butch Goring, and Steve Larmer rounds out that line. We had the fourth line to go. Joel Otto is the first, centered by Keith Primo. Great to see him in the game. And Rick Vive, former Leafs great Rick Vive. The defense, Dave Babbage. My second favorite picture in the game. God damn it. If that doesn't scream hockey player from the 70s and 80s, what does? Honestly, what does? Joe Watson, great hair as well. Second pairing, Donald Aubrey's in the game. Next to Wade Red, another one where people might be like, really? But he has been a hot hero in the past. Rod Langway, I think that's my third favorite headshot. Next to Craig Ludwig. We get to the goaltenders. Jerry Cheevers is in. I haven't checked for the custom mask. I doubt it's in, and that's a shame. If it is in, then EA, bravo. Bravo. Kirk McLean also in goal. No healthy scratches for that team. That said, those are the legend teams that you can find in Play Now and Online Versus. I couldn't decide what I wanted to say. That's okay. You get the point. Is there custom teams? There's one. Not going to show you what it is because that might spoil a series that hasn't been posted yet. But that is that. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you haven't gotten your hands on NHL 19 yet, at least you have something to look forward to. They weren't lying when they said they have added in a ton of legends and former players. Thank you guys for watching. You know the deal. Support the video, support the channel, and I will see you next time.